Hi, Leo and Leo Rising. Here's your horoscope for October 2024. I'm astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, as you know, we're in eclipse season. We had one last month in Pisces. This lit up your 8th house of endings, completions, deep psychological transformation. So there's a lot of realizations that are coming into your world this month, especially when we have a solar eclipse, which is going to be right here in the sign of Libra, the 3rd house of communication. So this is going to give you a new view, a way of self-expressing yourself, a creative endeavor that's coming your way in the next 6 months to a year. So this reading is for anyone who has a rising sign in Leo or has a sun sign in Leo. This is a general Western astrology tropical reading using whole house systems. Again, it has to be very general because everyone's birth chart and birthdays are completely different. So looking at this month, and I said this at the beginning of the year that we're going to have a weird kind of fall season, and here we are. And that has a lot to do with the eclipses, but also some of the alignments that are occurring here between Mars and Pluto and between Venus and Uranus. And so there's a lot of instability in the mix, and it's affecting all the signs, not just Leo and Leo rising, but these are the areas that are affecting you, and primarily has to do with communication, self-expression, a relationship or several relationships because it's in the sign of Libra. So this energy is going to be activated here. And so we need to pay attention to all of this. Okay, so I'm going to help guide you through this month. So obviously here we have on October the 2nd, we have a solar eclipse right there. It's going to be at 10 degrees of Libra. So wherever that is in your actual birth chart, you'll want to take a look at that. But this is all about expressing yourself, talking to your loved ones, talking to your partner. It could be business partners as well. Maybe you're getting into an agreement of some kind that you need to resolve. Maybe there's somebody from the past that's coming into your life that you need to resolve a matter. But whatever it is something new that has to be brought forth. And it has to do with self-expression. So this could be anything from like writing a book, starting a podcast, doing videos, whatever it is that you feel like you need to express yourself in some way. And you're probably doing it with a partner because Libra is the sign of partnerships. And Mercury's going to be involved in here. So Mercury's all about communication. So there's important conversations and contracts or agreements or maybe even legal matters that are on the table beginning with this eclipse. Now this eclipse has 2 major alignments to it. Not major, but one major and one minor. It has an alignment to Mars, 15 degrees to 10 degrees. So this is an alignment. This is a square. So this is a little bit of an adjustment period here with yourself or somebody from the past or a female or somebody who's very moody and emotional. And so this is something you're going to have to deal with. And the other side of it is this alignment to Saturn at 14 degrees of Pisces to this new moon. And this is one that could be unrealistic expectations, fantasy oriented. This could have something to do with money or shared resources of some kind. This would indicate to me like somebody's going through a divorce and there's a settlement that needs to be made, you see. Something is ending, a partnership or a relationship or a business that's dissolving and the partners are deciding how to go their separate ways. And so this is the kind of energy I'm seeing, but we'll have to see how it plays itself out in your own personal chart. Again, I'm being very general here about what I see. But whatever it is, anytime we have a solar eclipse, because the sun is associated with Leo, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to start something new or to be creative in some way. And that's what Leo and Leo rising people love most, is to be creative and people to appreciate it and people to love them for it. And so this is the kind of energy that is being amplified here with the solar eclipse. Now, Jupiter goes retrograde in Gemini this month, right here for the first time in Gemini since it entered it in May. And so this is in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, and dreams for the future. This is a very technical house as well. And when we have Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, this is about reconnecting with people from the past, organizations from the past, acquaintances from the past. Maybe you're doing some marketing and you need some marketing help and you're hiring somebody from the past. But over the next couple of months, all the way until about February 2025, Jupiter will be retrograde in this area. So, pay attention to your electronics, or, misunderstandings, miscommunications could be in the mix here from now until February. I'm not saying it's going to be every day, but from time to time, you'll notice some communication issues with a friend, a partnership, an organization, a charity, whatever you're involved in. This could be part of that. But remember, retrograde just means going within. The energy is not moving forward, it's going within inside yourself. And since this is one of the outer planets, it affects society as a whole, but here in the 11th house, it has to do and pertains to your future and hopes and wishes. So maybe you got stuff on hold until you figure things out. That's what I'm talking about. Now, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn right around that same time, right here at 29 degrees. There it is in stationary position. It's in the 6th house of health and service and, your daily routine. So now we have the energy moving forward again in the sign of Capricorn. So this is like, what do you need to take care of before things really start to change for you? As Pluto makes its way into your 7th house, and all of your relationships are going to be transformed in some way in the next 19 years. Because Pluto will stay in Aquarius for the next 19 years, from 2020, from actually the end of November 19th, it enters back into Aquarius, and it stays there, I believe, until 2043. And so it's going to drastically change all your relationships, business or personal. But now, as it's moving direct, you could start getting a little bit of clarity on what's happening in your health and your daily routine and, service to others and your occupation or whatever it is that you're associated with in this 6th house. And so this is going to help you. But it's going to run into a couple of obstacles this month between Mercury and there's going to be another alignment with the Sun. So this, again, gets a little tricky having to do with other people, but I'll describe that in a second. But here's Mercury squaring Pluto on the 13th. Look at here. Mercury in 29 degrees of Libra, 14 minutes past the hour, is almost exactly squaring. Matter of fact, it is exactly squaring Pluto at 29 degrees at 38 minutes past the hour. And so this is a square, and this could be an uncomfortable conversation or situation that you have to have with another person, possibly a job, an employee, somebody, a caregiver, a caretaker. Could be something to do with, somebody's health that you're needing to talk to them about. And so we're seeing a difficult alignment here that needs to be resolved. And it's usually a day or so because Mercury is a quick moving planet. So you should be able to resolve it very quickly. Now, Venus also opposes Uranus on the 14th. So you see what I'm saying by tricky alignments and the weird energy that's coming in. Here we have Venus in Scorpio opposing unpredictable Uranus. So here we have, once again, we have another alignment of unpredictability having to do with the home life, the foundation, or something that's not realistic, and somebody throws a monkey wrench or surprises your way. And so we see that alignment coming into being. The other thing that's also occurring that's getting tighter is Mars at 21 degrees is beginning to almost exactly oppose Pluto, which doesn't happen until November, the beginning of November. But as it gets closer and closer, in degrees, it begins tighter and tighter. So we're seeing some friction here starting to evolve. All right. And so we have to pay attention to this. We also have, look at the Sun, 21 degrees, Mars, 21 degrees. We have another square going on. So astrologically speaking, this is a lot of pressure. And we're all going to be feeling this pressure, just a matter of where they are in your chart, And so I'm seeing a lot of tension here building up, probably in the United States with regards to politics, the election, and all the nonsense that's going on here. But in your own personal life, you'll be feeling this angst or this pressure to change in some way. The full moon doesn't help it at all either, because it'll be in Aries, another sign that has to do with conflict and battle and the self. And it's going to be at 24 degrees of Aries. And it's going to be opposing the Sun at 24 degrees. But what makes this full moon so tricky is it activates the Mars at 22 degrees, creating the T-square. And then on the opposite end, we have powerful Pluto at 29 degrees, creating what's called a giant cross. And this is a grand cross, and this is a volatile grand cross. And this is why I've predicted in my videos, in my New Moon Outlook videos, and some of my other videos, that there's a lot of tension here building up towards something. and we'll have to see how it manifests itself out. But in your personal life, it has to do with yourself and direction and purpose, your ideas, your thinking, the past situation, and maybe even work or health matters. So we have this giant cross building up over these 4 points. So this is big time news, big time energy that's building here. So be very mindful of this video and what I'm saying here as this energy continues to build. Venus enters Sagittarius, that's a plus. Venus in Sagittarius is kind of happy-go-lucky and wanting to have more fun and be more playful. So this is going to lighten the load a little bit, you know, where we have to laugh at all of it. And that's what my suggestion is laugh through it all. Smile and go, what an experience I'm having here. You know, sometimes it's rough. You got to laugh through that. When it's great, you laugh even more. But Venus in Sagittarius in the 5th house is very creative. It's very loving. It loves adventure. It loves to have fun. Sagittarius, like Leo, likes to have fun. So this could be a great time to alleviate some of the stress and pressure you've been feeling with a little bit more fun, or maybe spending time with your children. The 5th house relates to children. And, you know, maybe taking a short trip and exploring a little. Now, the Sun squares Pluto on the 21st. This is the other alignment that I was talking about. The Sun is going to begin to square Pluto, which again represents some tension either at work or with health matters. There's a psychological side here to responsibility and caring for others that I'm seeing here. And again, it is a little tricky. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a little tricky. And so you'll be dealing with a lot around this time, even though the moon will transition into Scorpio on the 22nd and 23rd. Excuse me, not the moon. The sun will enter Scorpio this time of the year. And so here we have the sun in Scorpio in the 4th house of home, feeling, and foundation. So now you find yourself more emotional or sensitive, and you know you don't really like it. It's a bit uncomfortable. Whatever's going on, there's a lot of you know, instability in the mix, and that's what I'm getting at. So you maybe want to spend time with your family and just, you know, appreciate them and love them and support them, and they support you. This is the best time when the sun is going through Scorpio in the 4th house. And last but not least, this month, the alignments still continue to you know, bounce us around a little bit. Venus will square Saturn. There's Venus at 12 degrees squaring Saturn at 12 degrees. So this has to do with the loved one. It has to do with maybe financial matters. It has to do with some sort of creativity, maybe a business endeavor that is either putting a lot of pressure on you, or there's a lot of stress involved here. Could be a health matter as well too, because now look at Mars. Mars is at 27 degrees, opposed Pluto at 29 degrees. And so we're still seeing a lot of pressure here for some reason. And this could have something to do with the economy. It could have something to do with an event that occurs that we're all paying attention to and scratching our heads going, what the hell is going on? And it could be outside of your control. But this alignment, again, Venus squaring Saturn, is always a little bit difficult and frustrating. There's a lot of adjustment. There's a little uncomfortable feeling. And if Mars and Pluto weren't in the mix, it wouldn't be so bad. But with Mars and Pluto in the mix, this is power, control. This is restlessness. This is irritability, you know, about the situation. So we have to really be mindful of that. Okay, so let's see what happens. Anyway, I know you'll do the best you can. If you want some support and you want to be around other people that get what's going on and learn a little bit about astrology and interact with people that are kind of awake and know what's going on, join my free community. I've left the link in down below, and at the end of this video there'll be a slide to show you all about it. But join my free online community. There's no obligations, and and I think you might appreciate it. Anyway, have a great month, Leo, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.